Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me on this rather cool morning. It's frosty outside. It looks like a Christmas card, and I have two sets of trousers on to keep me warm. Maybe too much information, but let's get warm by doing some Tai Chi. So let's take right hand in a fist, please, and left hand straight. Tuck back the thumb, with feet together, hands together, and we salute. And let's open our stance, please, and we'll get moving. So into the four corners. Check in with how your body feels today. That's 30. Let's change direction. Good, and there's 30 on the second side. So now we're going to switch into the horizontal spiral, or going into the four corners, keeping upright. Just notice how your body is responding. Excellent, let's change direction. Very good. Let's come back into center. We take the weight into one foot and circle down through the leg. Change direction. And shake out. And change. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go out and salt the road before I go out. It's so cold. Normally this room is an oven, but I can actually feel the sort of, I don't know, crystalline presence of the cold. Good, change direction. Good, and shake out. Warm up, of course, is always very important, but when it comes to when it's actually cold, it's so much more important that you do a thorough warm up. So actually, recently I've been doing double what we just did there. I do 60 sets of everything, which is nice. It also has a stamina and endurance aspect, but it's just thoroughly lubricating the joints, warming the muscles, waking the system up. So that being said, let's open our stance and we're going to do our little, or rather large rotations. So if you remember, this one is rather like the, if I can do it, that thing, that thing, yeah, the sort of worm, if you like, but we're doing it on the horizontal. So we're circling one hip and the second hip is just playing catch up. But try to connect, keep the connection with the body and the hips. So recently when I was trying to work it out within my system, I was disconnecting and just doing this, just sort of circling the hips. But actually we want to keep a connection because that's what Tai Chi is all about. Keeping structure, moving from center. So if you disconnect and just isolate one body part in movement, it's not really Tai Chi anymore. So we want to feel a connection. So if one thing moves, it affects everything else. Good. Again, if I'm feeling in my power, or at least focused, I might do 60 on each side. But for now, let's change direction. Of course, you build it up. If you're doing a little bit every day, you're going to find it a lot easier than to ramp it up and do a little bit more. Whereas if you're quite fresh to the practice or you're just doing it once a week, then it'll be much harder, not impossible, but much harder to ramp it up. And the way I see it is, why would you force yourself to do anything when you can gently spoon feed yourself and end up where you want to be? So keep breathing, keep moving, a little bit at a time, try a little every day, and then you'll be able to do more and easily. Good, very nice. Let's come up, ease from your stance, have a little shake out, and we'll do our knee stretches. So we're going to kick it out, keep the feet parallel, kick and step down, and again, just for a little extra warming up, we'll cycle forwards and do 3 times, and then slide down to just above the knee. Now, for years, I felt when I was doing this that my hips weren't level. And I finally recently realized why. Because my back leg knee was pushing out and that was lifting the hips out of alignment. So if I think of rolling the knee in slightly, it's not rolling in, but that keeps it parallel for me. And then my hips are level. So I'm getting a more level stretch. Good, let's pull those toes back. And again, because it's cold, the muscles may not be quite so willing to release. So pay attention and don't just force your body, but do what you can comfortably. Good, relax the foot down, up you come. I don't know, maybe you're watching this video in the south of France, midsummer, in which case you'll feel lovely and flexible. But pay attention to your environment because it does affect the functioning of your body. Let's do it on the other side. We kick it out and we step down and we go forwards and back. 2, keep the heel down at the back. And 3, gliding down. Again, I make sure that my back knee is not pushing out, and that helps me maintain level hips and a good stretch. Breathe, release. Feel your way and let go through the feelings, through the breath. Pull the toes back, taking hold, same side, hand and foot. Little bit of a stretch. Good, foot down and up you come. Very good. And I found that trick of mine to make sure the knee at the back isn't pushing out, but is staying parallel by feeling that it's slightly rolling in. You see the sort of mental trick? Because it wanted to go out, I actually think of it going in a bit, and my overcorrecting mind actually makes the physical body in line. But by doing that, not only have I balanced my hips as I'm stretching, but when I go to get up, I'm no longer getting little knee spasms, which I had been getting and couldn't work out why for a long time. Actually, it had got much better anyway, but recently with this little knee trick, as I say, this awareness of not letting the back knee bulge out, everything seems to be much better. So as I often say in my classes, if you're in pain, it's not something that we need to necessarily just take painkillers for. Pain is actually our friend. It's an antagonistic friend, shall we say. It's needed because the pain tells you something is wrong. If we ignore the pain, then we could end up in injury. So pain is there as a warning to prevent injury. So rather than going, oh, I'm in pain again, it means we need to do something about it. Now, occasionally that may mean that, a surgeon is required to do something about it. But more often than not, we can catch it in its early stages, and it just means that whatever we're doing is not quite right. And if that is the case, then if we listen to the pain and we are aware of what it's telling us, we can actually sort things out as a preventative rather than having to wait to cure a chronic issue. So sometimes, here's the kicker, you have to realize what your body is telling you. I knew that exercise, something wasn't right, but it took me a long time to figure it out. Maybe if I'd had a master in front of me, they would have said in seconds, your knee is, you need to do this. But I didn't. I was having to do it on my own. And often, even in the presence of masters, while we're training together, they're up front and they're doing it and we're following them. So it's not necessarily a case of them going, you're doing this. It may be that you actually have to broach it with the master and say, my knee hurts when I do this. And then they'll go, okay, show me. And then you get the input. So you see, it's all about communication. So first and foremost, we have to communicate with ourselves. And that means do not ignore pain. Do not just kill pain and get on with it. Listen to it, observe it, and respond. Because if we do that, that part of our body that's trying to protect us by ringing an alarm bell is being listened to, and we can actually go on healthily rather than court injury. Okay, so let us go wide again, and we sit down and turn the waist and chop. So this may look like I'm swinging my arms around, but I'm not. The movement is coming from the rotation in center, and the arm movement is a result of that. So the driving force is my center. My arms are just naturally swinging, but I'm giving them a little bit of guidance as to where I want them to go. And that's Tai Chi in a nutshell. We keep good posture, we move from center, and then we just give our system a bit of guidance with our awareness. Good. Now you can go as high as you like in your stance. If you want to really push the boat out, you can go deep. Very good for stamina and endurance. And if done correctly, no problem for your legs. Good, let's come up. And we do our water version. So just gently turning in center. The focus is on center, and the arms are like water. Your wear into your fingertips, into your hands. But the arms are just flowing as a result of the center turning. Observe, please, as your breath and your heart rate return to normal. Quite easily, quite fast. Good, and relax to center. Well done. Okay, we're literally just going to do a couple of minutes of standing today. I have been every morning since the master has come, just before Halloween, doing warm-up like we just did, and then a 20-minute stand. I don't know how you'd feel about that. We couldn't quite do that and all the way through Lao Jia, but we'll maybe just do a few minutes if that's okay. And then Lao Jia. What I find is the stand sets you up for your day, and it sets you up for your practice. It makes everything so much easier because it helps deep relaxation and I was going to use the word congealing, but that's not quite right. Setting the system into its best posture. And that's what we want. So actually, the longer we stand, the better. But we've only a short time, just over half an hour. So let us bring the feet together, lengthen up, chin slightly down and back, and take your time to arrive, finding that deep silence inside you and all around you. Even if there's sound, even if it's noisy, feel for the deeper silence underneath. Good, so let's release, belly, hips, knees. Fill right, empty left, step open, transfer weight. Check. that your feet are shoulder width and level. You want the feet directly beneath the shoulders. Let your toes spread. Checking posture, feel the top of the head, the bai hui point floats up. The chin slightly down and back. Release, relax your chest. Feel the small of your back gently filling. Release your tailbone down. Release your knees with a feeling of the legs gently rolling in a little bit. And when you're ready, float the hands away. And slowly bring them up. Feel the shoulders spreading out to the sides. Feel your shoulder blades sliding down your back. Listen, feel, let go. So we're just going to gently, slowly lower the arms down. And cover center. Hug the elbows gently in. Breathe. Feel into your center. And begin your circulations. Change direction. And cover center. Breathe and relax into your center. Can you feel a warmth? Feel your energy is stronger. Let's relax the arms down and close left. Well done, and recover. Well, I feel warmer. In fact, I'm going to take a layer off. So excuse me for a second. I might pause the video just for a wee moment. Good stuff. So now we're going to go through the whole of Lao Jia Yi Lu. Just allow yourself to flow. Notice how you feel today in each moment, and see if you can let go into each moment. So we're not wanting to be overly critical of ourselves. If you find that you've made a mistake or something isn't quite right, just clock it, just take note of it. To deal with or to broach, possibly in class, but actually every time we do the form, we have another opportunity to work on any wee bits and pieces. And what often you find is you clock something, go, oh, that isn't quite right, and then you might do it another 20 times, and each time you go, oh, it was that bit, oh, it was that bit, oh, I missed it. But it's in your awareness, it's in your consciousness. So each time, even if you're not sorting it out there and then, your system is working on it. And if we practice mindfully, then we're far more likely to actually sort these things out. Whereas if we just go through the motions, then we may not even notice that we're making a mistake or that something isn't quite right. So mindfulness is key. It doesn't actually matter whether you get it perfectly right every time. In fact, we won't. We won't. But if we're mindful of mistakes, that is the key to progress, that we can actually improve because we know there's something to work on. So let's give it a go. The whole form, please. Good. I'm just about to see there. All right. Prepare. Start. So I'm trying to take small steps this time to fit it all in without adjustment, but it should actually be bigger steps. Just about. Still need adjustment. Keep going. I pat on horse, relax to center. Kicking section, we gather to the right. Sweep down to the left. Left hand and foot come across. Sit down, hands up, preparation and kick. And step. Preparation and kick. And turn to the back. Gather in fists, lift left, kick left. 3 steps. Planting flowers. We turn to the right, make fists, draw in and push. Turn to the back, feet into left. Quarter turn, arms up and over. Relax down. And palm faces out. Protect the heart. Palm faces in. Face the back. Step left. Gather. Kick right. Toy soldier, turn. 3-way punch. And part 3. Keep going. 4 and 5. And you really need a space about 5 times the size of this, so we're just doing our best. Sure you're the same, do your best, keep focus, adjust when needed. Oops, sorry, open. Our second high pat on horse. Relax to center. I'll talk you through. Ready? We have our little rotation. And left hand over right, turn to the front. Release and step. Kick. 3-way punch. Prepare. Punch. Hold the position for me, please. It's my alarm to say stop teaching, but we're nearly there. Ready? And gather, uppercut, and wrap in fists. Right hand up, left hand down. Turn to the back. Sit. Kick, step down. Keep your structure. We're going to turn the right shoulder back. Good, up and over. Kick. And roll back. Find your center. And good. Sealing in your good energy. Point to the floor. Release. And close. Jolly good. Well done. So, If we could do this every day, I know we're meeting once a week, but even if you took this video and just did this much every day, I know it's an hour of your time. So if that's impossible, then maybe just do the warm up and stand every day. If that's impossible, maybe just do the stand or just do the warm up. If you do stand, make sure you do a bit of movement afterwards to circulate the qi. So even the circling the dandian is very useful. Don't just stand, because we want to build the energy and then we want to circulate the energy. So if you stand, it's good to move afterwards. But just a little bit of effort every day pays huge dividends. It'll make you feel strong. It'll make you feel centered. It will make you feel empowered in your day and in your body and in your health. And isn't that a miraculous thing? Don't worry if you find that you've gone the whole day without doing your training. Kick yourself up the backside, try again the next day. But even if you just lie in bed in a good, comfortable position and deeply relax through your body before you go to sleep, it will help your night's sleep, and that's Tai Chi practice. You could go through the form or go through a few steps in the form in your mind, even lying in bed. And often, if I do that, I'm asleep before I'm halfway through. So it's very, very useful for aiding a good night's sleep, but every effort pays dividends. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm wishing you health and warmth. So let's take right hand in fist, please, the left hand straight, pull back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and we salute. Shri Samhal. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.